And we are back. Right. Hello and welcome back to Stationeers. So I did a lot of building on the rocket, and on the let's turn on the lights. I want to see something, right? So on the space there, but it's not done, right? Mainly just place all the stuff, and I made some tests on this, and then a creative board, and then I realized I made some mistakes. So I guess I can fix the mistakes and then start thinking on how am I gonna go over the rocket. There's some things that I didn't think about, like the fuel temperature. So it would be much better if I cool down the fuel. So the aim is working wonders, by the way. So you see how clean this area is. And this is yep, this is a fertilizer that's fly all over here from the storm. So yeah, that's one there, and there's the other one right here, right? So they're doing a good job of going just forward. I don't know how far I want to set them, but they're doing a good job of mining only on a specific area, and they're not trying to go up the mountain, which is also good. So the fix I did on the last coding, where I send it to the center and then go back here, it really helps, right? So you can see how clean the area is. I guess this is right at the edge. Anyways, so for the rocket, right? Night time, well, not great to see anything, but I can go over the basic stuff. Jetpack is good. So there is this tunnel here, and there is this tunnel here. And this is mainly like the exhaust from the rocket. There is nothing here really. It's just a straight line. So here, right, there's some windows. So for some reason I want to see it from the top. And there is a rocket, right? Now we're here. I didn't pass all the cables, just put the transmitter here and send the power there. But for the fuel, right, so you have to pass the pipes, right? There's no around it. And that's what I was thinking. So this fuel is like hot. I want to cool it down to -50. So it's coming all the way over here, right? This was a room, but I don't think it's a room anymore because I opened this. But at least this part is sealed, right? So there's this reinforced windows here. I don't know if I want to move this up here and close this transformers as well, because everything is powered by this guy, right? So the battery come here, right at the receiver. Let's come the battery, right? And then the powers go to the transformers and then go to everything else. So I have a computer here so that I can do stuff from here. And I also have another computer up there. Right, that's the enclosing. You see the rocket's like almost finished. I made one mistake here, right? So I was putting the volatiles in the auction and I color everything, and I have 2 pumps and 2 pipe analyzers and all this stuff. But then I realized this is a pressure fed engine, right? So the way I was going to make this work, and that's what I test before, I would put like double the pressure on the volatiles and half on the auction, right? But that means the total pressure on the engine is way lower than the maximum, like 6 megapascal. And then I just realized, right, so I don't need the fuel separated in the rocket. I want them mixed already. So I just need one pump and one analyzer. And I don't need all these separate tanks here. So what I'm going to do is just going to remove the auction one. Over here. Somewhere in the rocket there is an IC-10 that fell. I didn't reach all the way down, but also I couldn't find it in the middle, so it's in there somewhere. So I guess when I launch the rocket, I'm gonna fall down. So now I need to connect all the tanks. So it should be pretty easy task. Just connect this. I would love this to be red. Right, so I do this, and that's it. Why didn't I place it? Come on. Thank you. We don't need this, actually, just this. Actually, I don't need it. Well, but it can be from here. Okay. And then since I'm here on this, I might well just do this. So this is like after, so before the engine, right? So we're gonna keep this pressurized, but it's a turbo pump, and a turbo pump blow up a pipe very fast, so I have some buffers to keep this at the whatever pressure you need, as high as possible, right? So and I had two, right? One for the auction and the other one for the volatiles, but now that I realize that I don't want this, I just want fuel.
Waste tank critical. Temperature high.
That's so annoying that you cannot use like a bigger tank for the waste. So make sure I connect everything back. The tank here is not connected.
Jetpack low.
Already. So let me fill up the jetpack. I do have a staircase, right? So I can just do this. And then so the cable goes all the way over there. And this is where I'm gonna have the control tower, the launch tower, whatever you call it, right? So this is a bunch of hangar doors, and the antenna here, and then a little enclosement which is not really finished. For now, just the computers. There's some stuff that I need to check here. So I have my. So let's fill the auction first. Not the auction, the jetpack. I left my nuclear here. Yeah, grab this.
Jetpack critical.
Yeah, it's fine. So just fill up this a little bit. 6, 7, 8. And good. So you can see here, right? So this is my pipe from the greenhouse here. That's the below part, right? So the part that is at 25 degrees. Let's go all the way over there and then do this weird turn, which I don't really love, but and come all the way over here. So it's not connected because I need to test something. You can see this is at 24 degrees, 25, so the cooling is running, and it's the gases from the greenhouse, right? So we're gonna use to close this guy here. So I have the roof here with the pipes, but I need to check if this wall here, because this is the padded walls, right? I don't know if this actually is thin enough for this guy here to work. So we're gonna put one. I don't want to have to clean the entire pipe system, so let me do this, right? So let me cut this, so this is not connect to anything, and the only thing I need to check if this is gonna actually work behind the wall. So it should be right here, and I can't really see anything from here, but I can just go at the top and check. I think it works, but just to be on the safe side. Yep, it works. Perfect. So what I will do is push that to a vacuum. And then I connect this pipe here, and then I put the vents. I put the vents first, and I push the vacuum. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the vents first and then push the vacuum. Otherwise, my jetpack that's not only nitrogen gonna pollute everything. Yes, yes.
Waste tank content.
So yeah, that's precisely the reason I'm doing this, so I can stand here and not use all my waste tank. So let's make sure this is not connected. Okay, this is not connected. So that will be this. I should have enough. And then there should be another one here. I should have a little more left here. Now I made a mistake. I should have painted this before placing. I only have gray. Yeah, I don't have enough to... Okay, so I'm going to fix this later. I can't really fix this later, can I? Why am I so dumb? Bear with me for a second. It's not too slow. Just need to do this. The waste tank gonna complain again.
Waste tank critical.
Yeah, I know. Almost there. Okay. So those are all. I have one extra. Now I should be able to just turn this guy on. Yes. And close. I should have the rest of the things here, right? So the cladding and then this. So I put you here. Let's close this, right? And then I push this to a vacuum. Shouldn't take long. Now there will be a few interactions between the pipe and then the board, which is a little annoying. So I guess I have to wait. I can go do something else while he's waiting. So here I want to control like the launching. So I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do that. I have some chips here, and then I see housing, and oh, I never placed this, right? So I want a power thing here, so I don't run out of power here. Let's continue fixing the rocket there while this is going to vacuum. So ideally it would be, yeah, there should be a, yeah, so it's blowing out here. So I would be over on the top here where it's pressurized, right? And then I will only go down here if I need to fix something or for testing. So I put this blast door here, but it's not even connected to anything yet. And there, if you want to see the fire, but I think I'm too close to the rocket to actually stand here. So I'm not using rocket tanks because they are not insulated. I don't know why they make like this. They could very well just make the rocket tanks insulated. So just using normal insulated tank. Instead, I need to connect all those guys, right? So I should have some pipes. So all those tanks are connected, now those are connected. The only thing I need to do is connect both pipe network, which I should be able to do very easily somewhere. I guess here is gonna be the easiest. And just to keep everything white there and then red here, even though it's not really necessary. Okay, so now this should be only one network of pipes. So we're gonna have this is my engine analyzer. So this will be my engine pump. And I only need one analyzer up here now. Where the heck's the analyzer for the here? So this is one. This is two, right? So I don't need two anymore. So I can take one out. Nope. Drop the two. So now this cable here is not needed.
Waste tank caution.
Yeah. Right. And then this will be, since I don't have any fuel tank, the rocket won't be able to read the fuel, so I'm gonna read from this thing here. So fuel tank analyzer. And I don't need two connectors anymore. Yeah, since everything is connected together, I just need one. I could fit more tanks here if I want to, but so far it's fine. From what I test, this is more than enough. So the fuel tank analyzer. So the way it is packed, right? So it's a bunch of tank here. So the engine with a little buffer here for the engine, and the turbo pump that will control this. Is pointing down? Yeah, it is pointing down. Then all the middle here is just tanks, right? Would be two tanks, but now it's just one because it's just fuel, right? And in between here, the satellite is not a satellite. How the heck you call this? The thing that do the scans, the rocket scanner, right? So the first one here will be just scanning. I just want to find a nice node that has a lot of ice, and then I build a next one that will be actually mining the ice. So there is a lot of scanners here, top of each other, nothing crazy.
Jetpack low.
And then here a bunch of batteries, right? One battery here, battery here, battery here. And I make sure using the white cable here I don't mess up like the input from the output. You can't really see what's right here. The umbilical, got the power here, or the white there. Let me.
Jetpack critical.
Yeah, I know. So this place should be in a vacuum already.
Jetpack low.
So let's see. It is. So I can turn you off. Wait a little bit. There is nothing that's leaking because it's on that pipe there. So this is good. Which means I can then connect the atmosphere here.
Jetpack critical.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to do this when I come back, so I need to fill up the oxygen and the tanks. And I need to cool down this line. These guys sell liquids or sell gases? Sell liquids, and I'm not really wanting to deal with liquid stuff. There is fertilizer spread everywhere. Okay. How many times I said I need a smart canister for the jetpack? I guess I'm gonna build one now, but I keep saying that and never building it. So I don't really like my lighting. It takes forever for this to turn on. It turn on like almost like midnight. I want to turn on when the sun is just above there. So I need to do some tweaking on the thing there.
Waste tank critical. Waste tank critical. Waste tank caution.
Okay, so let's... The pipes I can bring with me. I'm gonna need pipes later anyways. The canister, right? I keep saying I'm gonna print the canister and I never print it. I have a gazillion mass of ore here. Smart canister. Copper, steel and silicon. Steel. That's silver, yeah. Steel. I think it's inside any of the machines. Really? Yeah, there is steel. I did use a lot of the rocket stuff, right? So yeah, let's do... You come here. You... You have to... That's it. Okay. One thing that I need to fix, it's a bug, but it's a bug that you can work around it on the Larry stuff. The Larry gets stuck with the arm extended, which is really annoying. If it happens when there's loading the game and was extended. But I don't know if I have enough lines left to handle it. That's the problem.
Jetpack critical.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix the jetpack. So the oxygen is not great. I only have 1.5 here. I have way too much scrap on me. Omni transmitter. I should have another Omni transmitter with me down there. This battery can be here. This pump here can be with this. Oh, this is not a pump. Crap. I don't have more space for anything, really. All the augers and the chutes and all this stuff here. So I don't need the pipe analyzer. Or do I? I might need all this for the because I need to do the fuel mixing yet. Yeah. I definitely don't need this. And the vent. Okay. So jetpack. Now this should take a little longer to fill up, which is a little annoying. But it's not too long, just a little bit. So let me just pause real fast. Okay, 18 is enough. So this would go here. Close this. I really hate how the door sticks out like this. I need to fix the connection there, right? So this is gonna pressurize there. It's gonna unpressurize my greenhouse, but it's fine. I have a gazillion plants left anyway. Yeah, I'm seeing the plants, so I think the Larry is stuck. Yep, it is stuck. That's really annoying, right? So it's just stay like this. They will need to fix this. It's an annoying bug. I don't know if I have enough lines to fix this. So what you need to do is check if the arm extended for like 2 or 3 cycles. And if it is, then you just press activate again and that will fix it. But you shouldn't have to even do that. So lower level idle Larry, that's the guy. So how many lines do I have? That's the real question. I have 4 or 5 lines left. Yeah, that's not gonna work it, right? So there is the jump. Wait for idle, right? So this is where I should handle this. Where is the wait for idle? I'm hearing a weird noise. Oh. How the heck is this full? Should never get... Ooh, okay, so the Larry gets stuck. That's fine, but the... Oh, don't tell me the Larry that does the storing got stuck. Oh, that's a pain. Yeah, that's really something that they need to fix on the game. Yeah, you can work around it, but that's still a bug on the loading of the game. So if one of these gets stuck, one is right here, the other one seems to be right there. Yeah, that's the problem, right? So it's stuck here, so everything back up. I don't know for how long this is stuck here. This is Ray, this is... Yeah, this shouldn't have anything there. Holy crap, I hate this. Oh, the lag. Yeah, and I'm gonna look at this now. Okay. What I need, what I was doing is... this part here, right? Okay, so I should go open the helmet.
Oxygen critical.
Oxygen shouldn't be critical, but I think that's low pressure, yeah. So I'm gonna have to wait for the pressure to build up, but at least my waste won't get destroyed. So I can also open the ground here. And just place this guy here. Okay, well, I'm not using a wireless battery, but when I am, then this will keep me charged. So I need a way to control the doors. I need a way to control the rocket from here. Like the fueling, pushing the stuff on and off, that's the thing that I need to control, right? What else do I need here? Transmitter is already here. Don't need analyzers, so we can go down now. This is really unfortunate, right? There is nothing that you can place if you do like a 2x2 cladding. There is the 1x1. You can do the corner just like I did there with this. But with a 2x2 you don't have anything that does this. Really unfortunately. So they are missing some assets for the 2x2 cladding. So I can't in any way make this corner here that's 2x2. Okay, so go down to the rocket here. So what problem the rocket was that I was doing two fields, right? So this is connected, and down here this is connected there, and this should be connected here. Okay, so everything is perfect, fine. I call this engine analyzer, and this I call, if I can see it, engine pump. Perfect. And then I should have here the where was it? This. So the fuel tank analyzer. And over here my IC10. Right, so Right here is where I dropped the IC-10. It fell. It went inside the housing, but I could never find the IC actually. So I really have no idea what the heck happened. If it just vanished
Waste tank caution.
or what. Something happened with it. So what I need to do so I have my script here that I was testing. Pretty simple. So this guy here. The only thing this does is keeping the pressure at the value you want, which is in this case 59, right? So this formula here, it's a little weird, but the only thing it does is like an inverse percentage. I can explain better in the other one for the fuel mix, but basically what it does, like you have like a value, like so let's say 15 and then 25. So you want 15 to be 100, right? And then 25 will be 0. So that's what this is doing, right? So the maximum is 59, which is almost 60 kPa. And then if we are at 69, then we want to be at 0, right? So I don't want the pump to be running. And then if we are below the value, which is 1/3 of the value, right? So I get the max pressure here divided by 3, which will give me 1/3. And then from the maximum pressure, I subtract this value that was read here. And this gives me 2/3, right? So if I'm below 2/3, the pump will run at 100%. When I get above 2/3, then the pump will start slowing down until it reads. In theory, it would never hit this, right? So because it gets slower and slower. But since the pumper, I'm doing this because the pumper overshoots a lot. If you put it at 100%, you can pass the value you want, and that's not great. And that's the only thing that this is doing. So I need the engine analyzer, the pump, and just for keeping track of. So D0, D1 on D2, D3 on the other side. I'm gonna have my fuel tank analyzer. So one thing that I found really annoying, that's the rocket automatically turns off the pipe analyzer, which is really painful when you have like the auto shut off for the engines. Okay, the engine should shut off, but not the analyzers. So I'm gonna make sure the ship keep turning the analyzer on, because I lost one rocket during the tests because, well, the rocket went to space. It shut off the analyzer. I didn't realize with the analyzer off, it kept running the pump and blow up this part here where it's trying to not blow up, right? So save to this guy on one. You don't really need this, but putting there, and then I gotta do the same for the it's already there. Never mind. Engine analyzer and then fuel tank analyzer. Right, so those guys should be like this. Always on. The fuel tank analyzer, what I will be doing is saving on the dB setting here the readings from the tank, because since I don't have a proper tank for the rocket, I can read how much fuel I have from the dB itself, right? So just do right here, so load intro 0 from fuel tank analyzer, fuel tank analyzer pressure, rather than saving to dB this, then I can see how much pressure I have into my tank. That's the tank, not the stuff on the engine, right? The small buffer on the engine. Perfect. So that's the easy part. Now I need a fuel mixer part. So I need to put you here. I don't know if I already put the pins there. Not really. So I do need to set this guy up. So I turn you on, you should flash an arrow, I turn you off. So that's the engine analyzer. So there's a lot of rocket scanners. Can I somehow stop here? Thank you. So rocket scanners, engine analyzer. That's the one. Then that's the engine pump. Engine pump, perfect. And that should be nothing. And this should be the fuel analyzer. Fuel tank analyzer, that's it. So if I turn this on, we're gonna turn the pump on. We're gonna try to fill up the thing, but there is no fuel, so we're not gonna turn it on yet.
Waste tank critical. Temperature high.
Okay. Now for the fuel mix part here, right? So I need to mix this before, and I made all this to have like separate stuff, but now that I realize I need to mix before, right? So I need to mix right here. I should have pumps. I have, and I have analyzer. Okay, so I have everything I need. Then I have another transmitter. I made way too many of those. Well, it doesn't hurt. A place where you don't take up any space, I guess, could be right here. Yeah. So this is gonna require a white cable. Yeah, it should be taken from the battery, but there, that's fine. Alright, so now I can actually use my wireless battery instead of using this nuclear battery here. So oh, what the heck? Oh, you can go inside. That's cursed. So if this is one thing, right? So that's what I'm going after. That's the wrong tool. So this will be a turbo pump, and this should be breaking to a different segment. So do I have the pants? Yeah, I still have the pants here. So doesn't matter which way I connect this. I'm gonna have to connect both anyways. So go up, and now I need to place all the cables, which should be easy enough. One here, one here, and somehow I need to go around this. There's a passive. Really? Oh well, I guess those passive vents gonna move. I have those passive vents here just because if this is open exposed to the sun, this is going to heat up and build pressure, but this was before I opened this hole here. Now I actually don't need this. Okay. So now I can continue with the cabling here. So you go up, you connect with this guy. Somehow I need to connect this with everything else. I guess I can do this, even though I don't like stuff crossing the pipe. I guess that's what I need to do. Okay, so it should be all connected here. Yeah, it is. So past this point, this is only one network, so it won't be too different connections anymore. But that's also not how I want to do this. So between this part and the rocket, I want to have the minimum amount of pipes possible. Actually, if I actually want to be smart on this, I will place this way up. But it's fine, this amount of pipe is fine. Which one did I disconnect? I disconnected. This one, I guess. Crap. I don't remember which one I removed. Best way to find out is removing this guy. Yeah, I think this is connected because it's there. This one is center. Because when it's placed in the correct position, it automatically moves.
Waste tank caution.
See? So that's the correct one. That's a lot of umbilical. Okay. So, which means I don't need this part here, yes. That's the pump that will have the fuel. It's the line that will have the fuel, right? So on this two here, we'll then connect into here. Now these guys are not connected anymore. I guess I could connect them just to not waste them. So this is the volatless pump, right? So this is the auction pump. Now this is not needed whatsoever, but I'm gonna do this just because I built all this crap. And now I realize I'm not gonna use it. Okay. And then the auction there. So I need a white pipe. There. Not great, but well, it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, a lot of extra pipes here. So I need to read. Do I have 5 pipe analyzer really? This is not connected. So this connects to this, which goes up. And I need to read. Yeah, so this comes here, those two join together and then goes there. And I need to read this. continue backwards. That's it. Now that's my fuel mix. This should be orange instead of red, but that's fine. So this is what going to get sent into the rocket. Really? A white tank low, that's something I can't really afford. Okay. My FPF is plumbing. Yeah, I'm gonna build the rocket, send it, get some ice, and then I'm gonna close this one. That's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I want to do either.
Waste tank caution.
I'd like to open here so I don't forget to close it. So I can't show the code here, so I don't have to do that, right? So the code that I was building on the test part, so it is this guy here. It's a pretty simple one. So there's a bunch of stuff here. Well, but then I can explain that function that I said we are like earlier about like having an inverse percentage. So that's the fuel analyzer, like the oxygen pump and the volatile pumps. That's it. So you don't only need those three devices. Those other three here is just for me to see the values, which you don't really need. And then a bunch of register here, so they have nice namings. Like the only thing this code is doing is mixing the thing. So I'm not really using the registers for anything else. So the maximum pressure, it's how far I want to go with the pipe, 59. And the mean pressure 40. The mean pressure is not like a mean pressure for the minimum. It's just, how can I say, below this pressure, right? So I want the pump to be working faster at this percentage, right? So if I put this at 50, below 40 megapascal, the pump will be working at 50% capacity, right? So this is how fast you want the pump to work below the minimum pressure, because otherwise it's going to take 20 years to fill up 259 if you are slowing the pump in a percentage rate from 0 to this number here, right? So 40, it can even be 45, so you don't overshoot, but it also doesn't take 20 years to get there. Oops. Okay, so I just turn on both analyzer and lock them, so I don't have any option to have them off, because if you turn these guys off, it's going to mess up everything. Just read the ratio of volatile, oxygen, and pressure. And then there is this scan run, right? So if the tank pressure is below the max pressure, this is a safety. Just make sure nothing blow up. It should turn off itself when it gets to this value, but for whatever reason, if the math doesn't match, or there's like a 0.00001 number that's not really working, this is just a safety shut off. So down here, right? So save into the pump, the setting, whatever setting is calculated, and then right here, if the value is greater than 0 and I can run, then the pump will turn on. I'm gonna go over how I calculate this value in a second, right? And then that's the inverse percentage function that I was building. So as a sample here, let's say you want to go from 42 to 50, right? It's inverse because 42 is 100% and then 50 is 0%, right? So that's the formula more or less. don't really fully understand all the math here, but it works perfectly. So that's the formula. It's over on the way over here, and those two here is just to cut off the value, right? So if you go below 0, stay at 0. If you go above 1, stay as 1, because this is supposed to be 0 100, right? So it's not going to minus something or above 120. So that's all this does, right? So you pass the value, let's say 45, you pass the main target, which will be in this case 42, and then you pass the maximum, which in this case would be 50, and we will do the calculation and going to return a percentage, inverse percentage on this. So what I do here is I get the tank pressure, and then I calculate this invert percentage, and I'm gonna multiply this by the pump max power, right? So that's what I said. So if put 10%, the pump will only work at 10% capacity, right? 100% will be whatever result of this calculation times 100. This is when below the minimum pressure, right? As you get closer to the maximum pressure, that's why I have this percentage backwards, right? So as you get closer to this, the value decreases. So when you get to this value, the pump shut off because its setting will be 0. And then it's branching, like if there is no device, you just skip this line. I know I said a lot of time that I don't like branch relative, but that's for skipping one line is pretty straightforward, right? And if this device is not set, jump 2 lines, right? So it's gonna go down here. This is just the display to show the value. So then I do the same with the ratios, right? So the ratios here, this is like 0.66, right? And then this is like 0.335. So that's the ratios, right? So if I'm at 660, I want the pump to be at a full capacity, but if I'm 667, I want the pump to be off. So this keeps in between the ratio, and it works pretty well. When it's low pressure, it's kind of like turn on and off because it's fuel up very fast. But then when you approach a high pressure at 50 something, it starts going slower, then both pump will work together and the value will be pretty stable. Like it works really well. So basically just call the inverse percentage function 3 times, right? One for the pressure itself, and the pressure I'm making the pump overall work slower or faster, and then call it 2 more times, one for the volatile ratio and one for the oxygen ratio. I'm using oxygen, right? So if you're using something else like nitrous oxide, that will be 50-50. I just call it once. So this get a ratio on how hard this pump should work for the oxygen, and then I multiply this by the power of the pump and get the final strength of the pump. Jeez, sorry. And that's it. That works like insanely well. I'm gonna build out the connections and the logic, the cables. I mean, it's already there. You saw me place it, so I just need to place the housing, but I need to cool down the fuel first. The fuel is still hot. And yeah, that's all this does, right? Pretty simple. Works pretty well. Come on. Takes forever to drink. I never built the fountain I said I'm gonna build. I personally don't like the fountain. I just said I'm gonna build it because someone said if you out click like this, you instant drink. Just like I can instant harvest. And that's the part that got me interested. So why you think I did any gardening here? What else do I have to do? I don't have anything else to do, right? So I have some volatiles there that I can throw up in my volatiles and an oxide just to some fuel that I bought that I could speed up my fuel process because I don't have nearly enough fuel to fill up that rocket. There's a lot of tanks there and that's gonna take forever to fill up. So what I'm gonna do now is cool down fuel line, and so I'm gonna set my oxygen and then my volatiles to be minus 50. Minus 50 because that is above both liquid point of both, right? So if I get here, so this is volatiles, right? So if I get here oxygen, you can see 50 is here, right? So it's below. I could even go to 60, 70, 70, as long as it's below 80, right? And none of them will be liquid. And having then a lower temperature allow you to have more, right? Yeah, I guess I can go at 60. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna either buy from the traders like the ores, the ice ores, or I'm debating if I'm gonna buy the liquid, like that guy that's there waiting. If I'm gonna buy the liquid from here, and then I'm gonna need to heat up the liquid, which I didn't want to do. It's annoying because if you evaporate it, it cools down even more, and I need it as a gas. Let's see. So, but that will be like mainly the last step. And once this rocket is up in the air, and I get the scan data, then I can send another one for mining the ice, and that will be like the grand finale. So for now, let me build all this. Let's get all the fuel and all the cooling. That will take forever. Probably just gonna leave the game running during the night while this is cooling, and then I should be back. So for now, that will be it. Didn't do much on this one. It's more like an update on the rocket. So yeah. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.